Hello, good day to you. Today I'm going to work on a how-to video of making these wooden signs for the yard, garden, wherever that you want to put them at. I appreciate if you join me through the whole process, and anytime during there you can push the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for getting all the notifications. It's greatly appreciated as well. Thank you. And here we go with another hella artsy dude video. Right. Okay, so here are the supplies that's gonna be needed here to make these signs. We got a pallet. I'm gonna be cutting some boards off there. Got these long boards right here. Some paint for later painting. Got a drill, gonna drill some holes through the boards, and then a little pilot hole and then put some screws in there. But before we do that, we're gonna have to do some cutting and some sanding, and also some burning of the wood. Now I've already used this and it works pretty well. I'm gonna try to use this for the first time. I think it burns hotter, might get a lot more done quicker, and I think this blue bottle one is mostly out, but a lot of this stuff I got from Home Depot and borrowed items from friends and family. But you can get these boards right here for free from Home Depot. This is what they put on pallets. There's like a little strap that goes in this groove, and they throw these things away, but they make excellent little boards for stuff. And then pallets can be got from all different kind of places. I don't remember where this one came from, but sometimes Home Depot lets you get those. So all right, and then we're gonna need a fan for part of the process, because when you start burning this wood, it puts off some fumes. I wouldn't say this is great for an indoor project at all. Highly ventilated area is necessary. Even outside, I use a fan directly on when I'm burning those. But what? That fan's not even. How's that fan blowing? Look, that fan's not even plugged in. The heck? Look, fan's blowing. Don't even need electricity. We got wind power today. I don't think it's enough to turn that though. All right, so first things first, you get the well, it's first things first, and then it's second things second, which makes third things third, which brings fourth things fourth. So gonna harvest some of these boards here, so a few good ones here and there. They dusted it for spiders and nothing, but pretty sure that when we get this saw going on, it's gonna be like a spider eviction notice. Right. Let's get some of these boards. or it's dirty, you know. But I'm gonna sand that. Rounded off some of the edges there. You don't have to do that, but I like it. I like the aesthetic and feels good. So I'm gonna try and get a bunch more of these cut and stacked up, because I'll try to put about like 3 of these each sign. All right, so I got 9 pieces for 3 signs. You know, like all the fronts and the backs, just gonna clean them up and round off the edges with the sander. So I'll do that real quick. All right, we have all 9 of them are done. Woo-hoo. Front and back, all the sides. Next thing, I'm gonna sand off the stamping on this board. You might decide that you want to have it on there, but I'm gonna remove it and kind of smooth out the edging here. But this one's got a lot of ink and we're deep on there, so I'm gonna see if I can just burn out that stamp. When I start burning it, all this soft wood, the lighter wood, is gonna darken up faster than these. See that little thin piece? That's a harder part of the grain. So it might make this ink disappear. We'll see. I still got a fan down here blowing. Let's try this yellow gas. I like to put things back in some sort of container, so I've already used this quite a bit, the blue one. Try this yellow gas. See if it burns better, hotter, faster, gets the job done quicker. Or see if it's too much. I don't know. Let's see. Test fan. I might be burning it too much. Let's try it with the blue one. The blue one better. I don't know exactly what's up with it, but it seems to be cooking it more even, pulling out the grain. Real nice. Expressing that wood grain on the ends. Maybe we'll go with the blue for a while. I'm gonna check out what the yellow tank does on the long bars there. I'll go sit back in front of the fan in a moment. I just didn't have the yellow up enough. But it seems like it's going a little quicker. It's doing the process quicker. It's a little bit breezy today, so I'm standing upwind. Like the fumes coming off of it. The juice still kind of linger in the area, so I'm gonna go sit in front of the fan and do the rest of this. Do the inside too. I see those ink stains from the stamp, but burning it out pretty good. Maybe need to stand too deep on there. Here's these three boards with the grains all nice and expressed. Even if you can't see the flame or hear the flame, always make sure that you turn this all the way off. When I open it up, a little bit of gas will escape. Just pressure, I think. So when you're done with it, disengage it. And put the cap back over it like that. All right. Now I got these three. We got 9 of these. Time to decide where, what's top, what's bottom, what's front, what's back. This one's got a bunch of crumbly stuff in it, so like that top up here. And then as far as these go, some of them have, try to get them kind of similar fronts. This one's got a lot of the green on there. It's the only one out of there that's really got green like that. Okay, so what I like to do is, I don't really like to center them straight. You know, the board's kind of cut all funky, this one's got a high end like that, so they kind of offset them, but also offset them sort of like that. We have one a little bit. These kind of screws that I like to use. These are T25 star drive screws, construction screws. First of all, drill a little hole. This is a 3/32. I like it right there. Drill that. See, then it kind of sits like that, And if you put just one single screw in there, and you can adjust it a little bit to the right angle. But I personally like to choose how I want to adjust it, and then I'll put 2 screws like that. I just want to show you that one at first, but the rest of them I'm going to do 2 screws on here. This one got 2 screws. And what I do with those is when I'm designing the letters, I kind of take note of where the screws are, and I just paint over the screws if I don't want them to be seen, Okay, well, I got 3 signs here made up. These ones are going to be just a few of a whole bunch more that I'm making for my friend Nate and his family's garden over at HL Homestead in Mineral Wells, Texas. Check them out. The grain. I'm going to hand paint some vegetables. Like one of them is going to say maters. And hand paint some tomatoes, and one of them is going to say squash. And hand paint some squash on there, and then maybe okra. Paint some okra. So I got a bunch of these to make, but I thought I'd show you a little process of making 3 of them here. Thanks for checking all this out. And it's artist time. Okay, so I made up a little art station here. Still have some carpet to remove and some E-track to remove. Quite a few places. But in the midst of it all, I'm gonna be doing some artwork. That's what the purpose of this mobile art studio is about, is getting around town making some art. So here's the signs that I'll be painting. Yep. All right. It's a little steamy in here, but I'm gonna run the fan and just do a time lapse of the painting because it's hot in here. film this with the fan off, not on time lapse. We can talk maters. Them toe maters. So I did a black background, just real kind of sloppy, purposefully sloppy. I'm gonna go in and paint what's inside of that. It gives a little bit of contrast between the dark wood. Tomatoes are growing here. Call them maters. Tomatoes. I grew up not really liking tomatoes all that much. I think one of my earliest memory is when I lived in Rapid City, South Dakota, and was having burgers or something, and somebody had some like little cherry tomatoes, and they put salt on the tomatoes. They put salt on the tomatoes because I was like, oh, I can't stand tomatoes, and they're like, oh, try it with salt. And so I tried it with salt, and it was even really gross. More gross with salt. So I avoided tomatoes for many years in my life. I had a friend when we lived in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that loved tomatoes. Oh my God, I've never met anybody that loved tomatoes as much as he did. Whenever we get these skinned tomatoes in the cafeteria for lunch, and about made me barf. It looked like a big old pile of brains, just red brains in my tray. It made me not want to eat the rest of my food. It was so disgusting. So Robert was his name, and man, he loved the heck out of tomatoes, and I guess especially them skin ones, he would just eat them up. So man, I sat next to him at lunchtime all the time, and gave him every one of them that they put on my tray. Gross. And then I know throughout history, I just never really liked tomatoes too much, and I'm a little bit more into them now. I really don't like eating just a straight up tomato. Come to like cherry tomatoes a little bit more, like on a salad. If I'm making my own salad, I might pick out a nice cherry tomato, something like that. But I'm real picky about the tomatoes that are on a sandwich. If someone's made a burger and they got them nasty, I don't even know what you call them. It looks like snot tomatoes. It's disgusting. But they just look really gross on my burger, and a lot of times they kill the taste. But sometimes you get a nice tasty tomato. Really got to be in the mood for eating it. But I mean, I love salsa. I love a lot of tomatoes in my salsa. But the tomatoes are flavored like the salsa, and it's not just straight up only tomato, you know. So I like tomatoes on my tacos. I like tomatoes in a lot of stuff now, but man, I hated them when I was a kid. So here's the maters and all the mater lovers. Making this little mater sign. Let's see, let that dry, and then we'll put some tomatoes. Here and there. Big old juicy tomato. Cherry one. I don't know what the name of all the tomatoes are, but man, there are a bunch of different kinds of tomatoes out there. Saw a really cool documentary years ago based off of a book called Botany of Desire, and man, it covered 4 different plants and the history and all different kind of stuff of them, but it didn't have tomatoes on it. But it'd be cool if they did like a part 2 talking about history of tomatoes. I think the plants that they covered was tulips, potatoes, marijuana, and apples. Pretty neat. They spent like 30 minutes on each plant, vegetable, whatever they are. It's pretty cool. I never got around to reading the book, but I'm more of a visual learner. I try to read a little bit, but maybe that's why I spelled things like maters. Figure out what to do up there later. I'm not gonna just jump into just doing whatever, but I'll work on filling this in. Another little coat. Y'all step right up and get your maters. I got an old friend that's finally got his little homestead land. Him and his family moved in it a few months ago and did a mural for them. He's a real big supporter of my artwork, and I did a mural of something that they wanted on their homestead, a logo, their homestead name, and some of the animals that are on the homestead. Get you some video footage of that before too long. I was out there one time and one of the mama goats was giving birth, or had just given birth. We was actually in town at a show, listening to some local band play, and his wife got called back home by the kids because one of the goats was having a kid. They thought it was gonna have 2, but it was just one. Cutest little thing too. Pretty neat. Farm life. I don't have a whole lot of experience being on farm life detail, but sure is pretty cool being out there. They got cows, chickens, goats, dog. The neighbors got horses. Pretty cool. They got chickens getting eggs, and I got 2 dogs now, actually. It is hot in here. I'm sweating. I'm gonna turn this fan back on. Get back to filming with the time lapse. Alright, back to the maters. I'm thinking about adding some of those up here at the top. I think that might be pretty cool. Top of the letters. That's pretty neat. Something real simple. Grow your tomatoes. Grow your maters. How's that? Little detail in. What I'm gonna do? Come over here to the squash. The squash lays down on the ground. Put some little pieces of grass here. You know, not too much. Just a little bit here and there. Maybe put some down here. Squash. They grow on the ground. All right, man. I want to go eat some squash now. Got some zucchini and squash. Sounds great. You know, maybe later I might paint like some leaves, or I was thinking like the leaves and flowers of the squash up there. I don't know, we'll see. And okra. We'll do the okra one here. Okay. Okra. So when I moved out to California, I'd already been eating okra for quite a few years, and I don't know what it is about there, but there's quite a few people that didn't have any clue as to what okra was. Couldn't believe it. Where I grew up in Oklahoma, okra was all over the place. Almost every restaurant served fried okra. You get pickled okra in the store. I talked to people out in the northern California area, and they didn't even seem to have ever heard of it. A few people had, you know, but yeah, those people were like from the, I guess the inland areas where more farming goes on. But I had to get me some okra, and eventually I found some pickled okra in a jar in the grocery store. It's kind of hard to find okra even at restaurants, in the grocery store. As far as in the grocery store, as far as just the vegetable itself. I mean, it was even hard sometimes to find pickled okra. But I found it every once in a while. Pretty good. I love okra. But when I lived in Berkeley, I ended up getting a little house with a little property big enough to have a little garden, and I just had to grow some okra, show people what okra was all about. And you know, some people that knew about okra, they were like, oh, you ain't gonna get no okra to grow out here. But I was sure determined to try get some okra. So I've tried and tried, and I got one little piece of okra, about like that big, curved, you know, probably about as big as my pinky, curved. I didn't even eat it, man. I took a picture of it. I think I even scanned it on a scanner. It was so small just to blow it up. Look at it. But I can't remember if I ate it or not. Probably did. You know, all that work just to get one little okra. I just had to have okra. I even got a little piece of okra tattooed on my arm right there. Okra. Love okra. Fried okra. Pickled okra. Anytime I go to a salad bar and they got pickled okra, oh man. One of my favorite things to get on a salad bar is okra. I have a little garden growing on right now. It's got some okra. Giving me more than Berkeley gave, but not a whole lot yet. Okra. Yeah, that one's getting pretty big. I need to pick that one for sure. Alright. This one goes out to the ones I love. This one goes out to all my okra homies up there in Oklahoma. Okra. So bright. That's good food right there. Okra. Yum. Whew. Eat it raw, eat it pickled. That's good stuff. Whew. So here is the end product here. We got one squash sign. We got one okra sign. We got one maters sign. Hope you all enjoy. Them tomatoes. This one goes out to the ones I love. Alright, thank you all for joining me on another hella artsy dude art adventure. This one definitely took a long time to film. It's been a long day, over quite a few days. Thank God for time-lapse filming, because you would not want to sit through hours and hours of all that. But, yeah, thank you. okay signs. It's time for me to sign off. I put a lot of hours into getting you ready. Y'all have a good evening. You'll be safe in here. All right, good night. What was that? What the heck was that? Oh man. What? Oh my gosh. I'm going crazy. What the heck was that? What the heck? See them things? What was that? You guys okay? You guys okay? What was that? Oh man. Oh jeez. Oh man. Oh jeez. Crazy. This one has a little bit longer bars than those other ones. Different kind of wood. Thank you for joining me on another Hello Artsy Dude art adventure. If you would mind taking the time to click the like button, push that subscribe button, and ring that bell